Okay, I want to say hello again, everybody. It's only me, Wushu Richard. It's really nice you can join me again. Thank you very much for joining me. In this video, okay, I want to talk about avoiding negativity, okay, and that means avoiding all negativity. So avoiding danger, avoiding conflict, violence, avoiding arguments, avoiding trouble in general, okay? First of all, I want to say, if you do that, give yourself a pat on the back and an applause, because I will certainly do that for you. You are a wise person if you do that. If you avoid negativity, you know, it's nothing to be ashamed of. You don't need to feel that you're a coward. You don't need to feel that you've let yourself down when you should have faced it on. Each time, I'm saying, you know what I mean? You don't need to look at it like, well, others might look down upon you, let's say, or even if they do, you know. Negativity is good for no one, you know. You want to be healthy, you want to be safe on all levels. So avoiding, you know, conflict and confrontations with other people, things like that. You don't always have to stand up exactly and argue with someone and shout over them or prove your point right and them wrong. You don't necessarily have to beat others down with your fists or whatever, you know what I mean, or with your mouth. Ultimately, I feel, and I truly believe this, that avoiding conflict, you know, is the best thing sometimes, and it's the safest way too. As I've said before, even when you're in a fight and it's like face on and it's hand to hand, let's say, let's say this Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather in the ring, okay, fighting, for example, the same thing, right? No one's running away, you say, they're both in the ring and they're fighting. But the two fighters are trying to avoid getting hit, right? They're trying to set up the other opponent, like I've already said before. The same kind of tactic. It's just like the ninja way. It's just the stealth, you know. They're trying to avoid getting hit, set the other guy up for an attack that he wasn't expecting and knock him out, or get the shot in, you know, and pick him off. No one says, okay, stand there. I'm going to throw a punch towards your head now, get ready to block, okay, I'll do it slowly enough for you. No, they're going to try to do it, they're going to try and do the damage. In fact, there's nothing honourably honest you know, about it, even fighting in general. It's all, you're trying to beat another person down. So, for your ego, which is ultimately your own fear of being looked down upon, or fear of the belief that you've deluded yourself, that you give yourself delusions, you know, that you feel you are less strong or less, you know, of a hero within yourself if you don't stand up that way. Bullies are cowards. You've got to remember that, okay? Anyone out there, if you're a victim of bullying, I was bullied when I was a kid. In fact, I've had negativity directed towards me for most of my life, and I believe you may have too. People all out over the world who feel that you feel some form of negativity is being directed towards you. In fact, people are too negative towards each other because we all have our own fears and weaknesses, or how can I say, delusions, and we're not seeing any way out of that. People are so busy in this hectic world and so complicated, too many people, that they're just frustrated and they don't know any other pure way, or they don't see any other productive way of getting along with one another. And when we're all treating each other in such a way, then there isn't a way out, it doesn't seem, unless you do change your thinking, unless on both sides too. Communication takes both sides, right, to work it, not anything. But I'm just saying, you know, so you're better off doing something productive for yourself. But as I say, you know, you don't want to run away from your life. You don't want to step, you know, always keep changing direction, crossing the street, let's say, in the journey of the path which is your life, let's say, just because of things getting in your way and changing, and let life as such and other people, dictate how you're going to live your life. I don't mean that at all. But what I'm saying is you don't always have to feel that you're a coward for avoiding negativity. You know, running away can be the best thing sometimes. If you stand up and fight, then there should be a reason for it. You should only fight when as the second to last resort. This is martial arts again, okay? The point of it, and the same in karate too, and many martial arts. When you are absolutely outnumbered, or there's no way you can escape, and literally cannot run away. That's the only time you should fight, when you cannot run away. Remember what I've said there. This may seem so cowardly, especially if it depends on, let's say for example, if you've got a very important competition, or if you've got a very, very important thing, let's say it could be people running for president or whatever, it could be, or you could be working in a job somewhere, or trying to win over someone or something, or trying to get a higher position, and it depends on how you can beat the other person. So there's competition is forced upon you as such, and this attitude in such a way. But what I'm saying, okay, basically is, if you can avoid conflict, is the best thing. And when I'm saying it, when you've got negativity directed towards you, that's a difference too. There's a difference between doing your best and winning, and doing your worst and winning, which is ultimately losing. Let's say, for example, you don't have to beat people. Let's say you've got a nasty, vulgar, foul person, a very rude person, who's always showing you up. Let's say you may be in a class. Let's say you're a student in school, for example. It could be anybody, or it could be a family situation. You could be at your auntie's place or whatever. But let's say there's someone who's out to make you look bad, and they're always trying to show you up, always trying to put you down and pick on you, okay, and make you look bad. Then the way to make that other person look more stupid than they should already be making themselves look, blind, sadly, too many people seem to be, to notice the truth and the good and the bad, the strength and the weakness in which side. But one thing you can do is, you don't necessarily have to beat that person down with your fists, or shout them down and, bust them up, let's say, knock them out in front of everybody. Because people look at you then for being more of an animal, if not the same. But you can outshine them. You can be more patient. You can do good and prove them wrong, because the truth shows who you are. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you stand there and you don't answer someone back when they're arguing with you, and you remain calm, you're a hero in yourself. Don't forget that. But sometimes it can be seen as cowardly to others. And you don't want other people to have a bad impression. And it may be very hard to avoid these nasty people if you can't always run away from the situation. If it's a place where you work, where there's other people, where there's family, this I understand. But what I'm trying to say is, for the most part, is rather than getting into a fight or an argument, it's best to be absent in some way. Run away from the fight. You don't need to run out of the room as such necessarily, unless the guy's getting violent, or the guy or the woman. But it's like you just be absent, as in maybe pretend you're stupid, or pretend you don't know, or pretend you don't care, or throw other positive, stuff in the works in terms of language, communicate, ask a question, or this or that, or do something else, or remain focused on your task and don't give them much eye contact or communication. Just focus on what you're doing, regardless of if they think you're a coward or not. It doesn't really matter, because they probably will. They say, you don't want to answer me, no. And they just want to try and get you riled up and angry, or show their power. And if it's not working, if they're not winning, then they're losing, right? If they're not winning as such, then you're losing, okay? So that's what they're doing. You must remain focused and always be in the right place at the right time. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you are basically a target. You're a sitting target, like a bow and arrow fired at you, So, like an apple on someone's head. No, I'm just saying. So you want to make sure that you are in the right place at the right time. So if you want to literally leave the room or get away from that person, then you're a hero by doing so. People don't dictate, even by the many, they are still not you. They are not as powerful as you are in this one life. You are you. And if you try to stand up to everybody and start shouting at people and arguing, then you look more of a fool in front of people. It looks like weakness, and they'll start seeming like they're overpowering you and outdoing you. So If you want to win over others' hearts, positivity is the best way, I'd say. To remain focused, and the truth will shine through, that you are more able to focus and control than the other person who's just rambling and shouting their mouth out. But I'm just saying, if someone's going to physically try to attack you or whatever, there's nothing cowardly in running away, keeping away, avoiding it at all costs. You know, even avoiding negative people in general, or people that you consider to seem to be violent, let's say. But martial arts, the physical combat, is what we're talking about, is when your training should be much better than the opponents. Don't forget, you should train harder than others. Your physical training to be stronger, and also your fighting techniques, how to train. Be fitter, healthier, than your opponents. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're in a situation where you cannot run away, and you're back against the wall, or there's someone there putting their hands on you, trying to hit you, you have the right to fight for your life and protect yourself and defend yourself. And that is the bottom line, and you have to fight really well. And if you train hard, and you've got the speed, the accuracy, the endurance, the power, and you can deliver techniques, let's say, we're not trying to cause violence, you've got to avoid that. But if you can end the worst from happening to you, then you can take out your opponents in combat, let's say, you know what I mean? Fighting, or just give them a shot, even a strike. You don't have to beat them down when they're on the ground and keep doing that. You just want to stop this situation as quick as possible, efficiently as possible. Do what needs to be done in terms of combat, I would say, is getting that punch or kicking, and then get away, then run away. It might be your chance to run away, your chance to avoid this conflict, this chance to avoid this, excuse my language, up until now I haven't said a bad word, but avoid this son of a motherfucking bitch bastard hurting you. That's what you want to do, right? So you want to be real about this, and this is what this is all about. Humble, peaceful inside, friendly, calm, patient, all of those wonderful things. But if someone's going to try to bully you and there's nowhere to run away, you've got to surprise them, blast the fucking, go straight in, and you know what I mean, rumble, basically. But that's just, I'm not promoting. You've got to sum up the situation and read it wisely, and don't put yourself in between a group of people, or don't try to fight a battle that is just absolutely beyond you, stepping up to someone who's got a gun or a group of people, or put yourself in a dangerous situation. Again, you want to be in the right place at the right time, remember. If you put yourself in a dangerous situation to show that you're a hero, or to show your power, even just mind games to prove to someone, they might just think you're an idiot, and you might be. Putting yourself in danger is retardedly stupid, don't forget. So keep sane in yourself and keep clear. Read the situation, read your life around you, and study other people's difficulties. Study people who seem to be confident or seem to be timid. Study people the way they carry on. Don't just look at people because they're quiet or because they're loud or whatever. Look at it, because a lot of the best fights, or a lot of the most biggest calamities, dangerous things, have been prevented. Situations have been prevented from people who have run away or made a choice not to fight and avoid that. Avoiding conflicts, like Tai Chi again, Tai Chi, to avoid that force, not avoid letting it slip through, becoming nothing, so they fall into the void of their own emptiness and loss. And if they can't find you, they can't see you, they can't catch you, and if you're not there, then all they are is exhausting themselves with their uncontrollable anger. And it's not energy, they're just throwing their energy away. So I know I'm kind of rambling here near to the end of this video. Stay focused and avoid negativity. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, you're not a coward to run away. If you'd like to share your ideas too, I'd love to hear what your ideas are about this. Thank you very much. Train hard and stay safe.